Greetings! Courtesy of the Serie A Player of the Month award, we have another player to just mess around with on the Italian RTG today, and it is none other than Raspadori. Now, in terms of how he's gonna affect our team, I don't suspect that this guy will take anyone's starting spot, but you know, why not try him out? You know, it's super cheap. He was only like an 83 or whatever, or 82 rated squad. Very easy to get. And in terms of our actual lineup, this is what it's gonna look like for today's episode, where we're gonna test him out in playoffs, because let's be honest, we just can't give starting spots to anyone who walks around for a Foot Champs run, can we? So you know, we're just gonna give Insigne a little bit of a rest. And now with everyone having a central position, we start in a 4-2-3-1 narrow, obviously for chemistry reasons, but we play all sorts of different formations, which I will reveal next episodes for the Champions run. That being said, Raspadori looks pretty good, not gonna lie, considering he comes from a silver card. He has 4-star skills, 5-star weak foot, not an upgrade. Surprisingly, that's what he actually has as a base. I thought we would have some problems because I thought he was gonna have a stocky body type, which would have been pretty accurate in terms of, you know, his IRL composition, but he actually has an average body type, so we can work with that. High-low work rates, and also he's got the acceleration of 92, which is really good. Decent finishing 87, which is surprising for a card like this. He just loses any oomph, I guess, in the shot power. That's where he got kind of killed, and I guess volleys, but really, do they matter? You know, his dribbling also looks good. The usual 77 composure that makes us all, you know, just wake up with an odd feeling like something's missing in our lives. 83 reactions, again, another stat we have no idea what really actually happens, but other than that, 86 agility with 95 balance isn't bad. The problem that might be relevant for me though, 63 long passing. Jesus, I have a feeling that as soon as I try to lift any ball up in the air as a pass, I'm gonna struggle. 75 stamina doesn't help either, but it is what it is, guys. So let's go into these playoffs and let's see how things go. And so the playoffs begin, and as usual, like with any new purchase, the usual big boys of the squad always start hot to remind the young ones who the bosses really are.
I'm just playing with him, man. I'm just playing. I'm sorry.
No sign of Raspa yet, but nice to see Jorginho giving us some movement.
No! Nah, that deserved a goal earlier. That was hot, boys.
And as we face what looks like a starter team, Raspa gets involved finally with an assist, tainted, of course, by a dodgy little rebound as we try to dribble on the side of the defender. But so far, I guess, nothing to complain.
Bang! Look at Jorginho, bro. He's getting goals.
We decide to demolish the scoreline a little more. A bit of an ugly play. I mean, this is what I mean about the explosive sprint being weird. You're just forced to run diagonally at times, whereas dribbling isn't really like that. It's much more, you know, just, I guess, round. Does that even make sense? Anyways, this guy may have time traveled from the past, as it looks like it actually may be his first day. And finally, we see a little something from Raspa.
Come on, Raspa, show me something special, for the love of God, man.
Not the craziest of finishes here as we face Bruno. Red Bruno, by the way. Baby Hullet, the B-Tech Hullet, and a couple icons here and there. Raspa gets another finish. Then is Darmian on the wing. Chiesa linking up. Everything opens up, and Baggio finds a nasty.
No, that's dirty. That's fucking dirty.
Nasty pass. What a team this one was. And honestly, guys, I have to say that Raspadori, although, you know, he had a couple finishes here and there, his passing really let me down, as I suspected at the beginning of the episode. I mean, we know that like this worked, but every time I would do a cross sort of like this, I could really feel the effect of 63 passing, you know what I mean? A lot of you guys ask me, Stallion, how do you do all these crosses and this and that? Well, the answer is that you just combine it. When you see the opening and the run and your player running into the space, you should have the confidence to pass it to him. But with Raspadori, you just really don't. And I guess that's not that big of a downfall. And I guess that cards with a 4-star, 5-star are always going to be very helpful, because as soon as you put him in a shooting situation, you can turn on either side. Of course, if he was 5-star, 5-star, it'd be crazy. And if he was a lean body type, he would probably move a lot better. So the average kind of locks him down. And plus, as good as his dribbling stats are, they are kind of mid-tier at this point. They're just like on the cusp of being special, but they're not special enough to make you want to just use him over someone like Insigne. Insigne, by the way, who is also a player that I'm looking to replace as soon as possible. I don't think he's good enough to be a starter, man. I don't think so. Even though he does turn better than someone like a Baggio just has that X factor of a player who will be more clinical, who will find better passes. He might turn a little bit slower, but the 5-star skills help him. Insigne, on the other hand, for the size that he has and the dribbling stats alongside that size and all that stuff, considering also the fact that his upgrades weren't even that big, so compared to the numbers up version, which we also do have, this card isn't even that much better. He doesn't have that like crazy pace and dribbling that you'd expect from someone. So he's in my eyes, he's just gonna end up being like a super sub material. And even then, like, I've tried players like Raheem Sterling on different accounts, and they're so much more impactful. So I guess it just comes down to the player itself. Does he have the X factor? Because, you know, a stat is one thing, but that's why everyone tries different players, because different players are going to have different, I guess, outcomes, you could call them. Hopefully, though, we get some sort of Italian future star in the upcoming teams, whether it be a Raspadori, I don't know, but someone young. I was actually hoping he would get someone like Scamacca, because if he does get a nice boost, I think it would be fun to experiment using a tall target man striker that's good enough. No one say Vieri, please. Please don't say Vieri. And I felt like Scamacca would have been perfect to try, but really we're at the hands of EA in terms of promos. The only thing we can truly be in control of is the fact that we will have Moments Icons cards to look forward to. And obviously the upgrades that we most likely will definitely give a go are Baggio, assuming Baggio doesn't get the same Prime Moments card as he did last year, because 2 years ago his Prime Moments was one of my favorite cards I had ever used. But then last year they gave him, and they changed a lot of the Moments cards to different moments in their career, and for some reason they gave Baggio the Moments card of his time at Brescia. By all means, those were epic times, and the fact that he was playing at such an old age was such a beautiful thing. But please, EA, man, don't give him a 40-year-old Moments card if you're not going to artificially boost the stats, because they actually gave him the Moments and then he was like slower, his stamina was meh, I think his dribbling was a little meh. It's like, bro, okay, like, sure, make the Moments from when he was 40 with Brescia, but like, please make him crack. Like, what are we doing downgrades for Moments? Are we just paying for dynamic images at this point? I will not have that. Zola, of course, will also be great. I've seen some comments saying, you know, Zola's composure is letting me down, but if that Moments card fixes that composure issue, I mean, we have nothing to complain about the guy. He's perfect. Del Piero Moments could be an interesting one, because the card that we've used so far for Del Piero is the baby one, and although he was a good player, you know, the base balance is just and then we do really need an upgrade on that. Let's see what they're gonna do with that. But players like Pirlo could also be interesting, but for the players like Pirlo, Gattuso, and all that stuff, I plan to make a dedicated episode where we use kind of the forgotten Italian icons. However, I must say that for some reason there are rumors going around, and I don't know if this is like a community-driven rumor, that potentially we might see center backs like Nesta and Baresi get major pace upgrades in their Prime Moments versions. And if they do, I mean, give me a Nesta with at least 80, 82 pace, and he's getting a shot immediately. And by this point in the episode, you may have noticed this kind of turned into a old school RTG style. We did have some live reactions at the start, but with mostly voiceover. I guess it was a good time to talk about the plans of the future for team choices, and also how Insigne and the comparison to Raspadori was. I felt that was relevant here, as we do pack a future star, although untradeable and probably not even worth that much. You also may have seen we did finish rank 1 in the playoffs, so a nice 10-0 with our 4-3-3, which I'll share next time, and with Raspadori, so not too bad at all. The packs were alright. I mean, nothing too crazy, but overall you'll see that we did get some fodder. There's a Busquets, there was a Muller before, and I think there's another walkout or something later on. In terms of the packs, you may have noticed, even though it's really sped up, that we do have the fodder packs from the swaps. I ended up not taking Prime Zambrotta. I know, controversial. I felt like it was better for my mental health to just not play the last 2 squad battle tokens or whatever it was left, and I just took the fodder packs, and I'll open them when necessary. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll catch you in the next one for Champs.